This is Sparta!
Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are in Hothead, aka the M48 Patton. I know I always confuse some people when I bring up some of the names that I don't, I used to play Patton all the time and it was a pretty well-known name at that point, but right now it's not getting played as much because I got a lot of new tanks. I've been playing a lot of tanks lately and I'm sure you guys have noticed. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I can't play them all the time. I'm getting so many tanks that I just cannot play them all. But we're trying. That's for sure. We're definitely trying. So, without further ado, let's get Hothead underway. Now, we are on Erlenberg, aka Derpenberg. They've already lost their light tank because I'm assuming he drove into the water either off of the bridge to the right or slipped off the backside of the hill and went into the deep end. Either way, it is definitely an oopsie. Because when you lose tier 10 light tank right off the bat, that hurts. That hurts pretty good. Now, speaking of tier 10 light tanks, the Sheridan has all the room in the world to move, but somehow tries to drive straight through me. Luckily, I avoided collision because I'm attention. Now, we both have maximum view range, so yeah, we're not worried about people too much. Now, I do know from experience that there are going to be bad guys on the backside of this hill, so I do not overcommit. I come to the thing, and the IS-7, I thought I might be able to auto-lock pin that shot because of the angle he's at, but apparently not. So, it is unfortunate, but it's a thing. And again, we bounce off the side there. It's hard to tell because of the bush, but I'm guessing what's happening is I'm actually hitting too high up on his armor, and it's just not effective. Now, there's an IS-3 there as well, but it's the same thing for him. They don't have the thickest armor, but when they're hauled down the way they are, they can shoot you and you can't shoot them. And now you can see I'm going to get really, really upset here in a second. Because I try to shoot the cupola off the IS-3, and look at this. I can't move my tank. Get out of the way! I hate that. I hate when 5 people will surround you with heavy tanks. It's like, get off of me, you fat punks. Good God. So I'm like, screw it, I'll go the other way. You guys can all huddle together and, do your thing, but no thank you. So I go over here to the other side. I notice right away that I can get through, which is unusual. Usually you can't get this far forward because those guys on the ridgeline back there are a little further back to the left. Now this VK-100, unfortunately for him, is going to find out real quickly what a tier 10 medium tank is capable of. So right there, we've hit him twice. He shot once at us. He should be just about loaded, so I'm going to try to make him shoot my armor. He shoots my track instead and does no damage again. So I go ahead, push out on him, and nope, we bounce off of him, auto-locking, hitting that side armor. But luckily for us, he can't pin us if we're right up against him. And there we try to shoot his cupola, and we accidentally shoot the top face of his turret. Not preferable, but this time we do take his cupola. Down he goes. Yeah, that's the difference between a tier 10 medium and a tier 8 heavy. He damages nothing other than what I rammed him with. And now we see the waffle, and we go ahead and put one through his turret. About to get another one into his turret. And can we finish him with a third shot into his turret? Yes, we can. Now, I didn't switch to HE there, even though I do have some waffle-killing HEs, because I just didn't feel it necessary. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to use the buildings as best I can to stop these guys from being able to hurt me as much as possible. Now, there's a Jag full health right up to the top of the hill, Jag Tiger, and wait for it, there it is, Object 261 coming in clutch with the AP, putting him down. It might not have been AP, but I always assume that they're shooting AP. Now here, I know I'm going to get shot from the guys that are looking at me the other direction, but I wanted to help our heavy tanks up by taking out those guys behind me. That'll help free them up. There's only one heavy tank left. Now I'm going to go ahead and focus my fire on these knockoff Shermans, and we're going to go ahead and try to put them down. Now when you do hit them, Sheridan comes in, finishes that guy. Now here I have the Waffle as covered, but I'm assuming that this HMH M51 would not be able to pin me. However, I was wrong. He definitely did pin me. So, not preferable, but it happens. That being said, we did everything we could. We got all the way up in there to put the guys down. We're going to have a pretty decent game at the end of this. And, yeah, I think it was just a good showcase of what, you know, what you should be able to do in a Tier 10 medium tank. You just take your early positions, stop their advance, and then capitalize on the guys that are making mistakes. Now, we gave up all our hit points there against those Tier 8 mediums because, obviously, we needed to do something. We needed to help those heavy tanks out. So, freeing up the heavy tanks and the Sheridan by losing our hit points isn't a bad trade in my book. If it's gonna secure the win in the long run, I don't mind dying. I'll make the Sacrfice play more often than not. So, and you guys see it all the time. I don't usually, I mean, let's be real. I say I don't usually die, or I don't usually live, but I do. I live quite often. But, yeah. That's why my survival rating in most of my tanks is right around 52% or something like, or not 52, 45 to 50% survival rating. Because I will be the guy that sacrifices myself in order to let everybody else push. And I do it a lot in the 705A too. Like, you'll see me just straight drive forward. Like, I will literally just drive right into somebody. 3 or 4 tanks will be shooting at me, and I'll just drive straight ahead. Because if I can get through them, they have to turn to shoot me. And when they turn to shoot me, their weak spots are just begging for my team to hit them. So you'll see that quite a bit in me. But what do we end up with, guys? I think it was pretty solid. 3,500 damage, 2,200 assisted with, what was it, 1,100 blocked? Not bad. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.